Kristen, you're muted, hon.
Kristen, you heard that, right? That you're muted.
Thanks. How did I get muted?
Welcome.
How did I get muted?
All the energies.
Thank you for letting me know. Okay, perfect. Here we are. Okay. Here we are again. Welcome to Mastery Monday. It's 11:33 my time right now. Perfect. Yeah, we are just in such an incredibly powerful moment here in our time, in our lives, in our bodies, and I'm sure many of you are feeling it. So much moving through. I was up till 4 a.m. in ceremony of just watching and feeling my own experience, as well as what's taking shape in the collective. And there was just no sleep going to be happening because so much was moving through. And I know some of you are experiencing a lot of tiredness or even just a wakefulness or both at the same time. So if you'd like to, you can just share in chat what you've been experiencing, anything in the physical or the mental or the emotional of what's been flowing through for you. Because, as we are in this point between, that solar eclipse and the lunar eclipse that's coming up this Sunday or Monday, depending on where you are in the world, it's this deeper purification process, right? To where there's an incredible amount of creative power, of creative energy flowing through that's tuning us to those deeper knowings of ourselves and connections and the embodiments, as well as, of course, those processes that seem to persist. Those feelings, those thoughts, those patterns. And so as the geometry is shifting and there's these cosmic, elements that are arising through the field, right, that are showing us this, these elementals of truth. As the geometry is forming, we're in these like constant moving puzzle pieces. And there's this incredible amount of what we call synchronicity, or just things just coming right into the perfect form in the right moment. So what I was noticing this past week is just such an incredible perfection of flow and connection, and as well as the upwelling at the same time. And this is where we get to dance with life, where we can allow these depths to surface while just these opportunities and openings are presenting themselves for us to have a deeper knowing of ourselves and others and our placement in this reality. And this divine and this trusting, that deeper trusting of the divine perfection coming up, so that in each moment we can go into that deeper surrender of ourselves. And then with that comes these essences of our integrity, our responsibility to ourself, our purity to ourself, of how we're holding our energy, what we're putting our focus into, right? How we're working with these energies. Are we letting them engulf us, or are we staying in this space where we can just keep allowing and just keep allowing and just keep allowing, and being gentle with ourselves no matter what decision is being made or how different interactions are taking place, right? Different interactions are taking place to show us what we're coming into. And what we're coming into really is the unknown, and being okay with the unknown as it unravels itself, as it unfolds for us. And letting go of the need to know, the structure, like the structure has to be in place, that pressure that we put on ourselves for the structure to be in place, right? And the ideas that we have around our success in doing that. Because I hear that, I've been hearing some people say, oh, I'm feeling this, but I know I shouldn't be feeling that. It's like, well, there's no not should or supposed to or have to or need to. Whatever's arising is arising. Let's meet it, let's greet it. And that's one of the main things we've been sharing this past year, is just going, how much can we allow this? And even the tiredness or the wakefulness, right? I just sat and said, okay, this is happening. I'm going to sit and be with it for however long this needs to open through the night. As much as I'm, could go into these thought processes. Oh, I need to be rested for the morning because I have sessions and I have this Mastery Monday and I have this thing I've got to do. No, I got to sleep, But there was just there's no denying anything anymore, right? There's no denying anything anymore. No rejecting ourselves anymore. No idea of this isn't for me or this is for me. It's really tuning into what's arising in each moment, saying right now this is for me because it's here, it's present, it's right now. What can I do with it? And open to it. And I've also been going through a deep process of how I've rejected myself in the past, right? And how that still shows up in different ways in my life, and going, wow, okay, thank you for showing me. Thank you for showing me I can be responsible for how these things are taking place in my life due to that underlying core pattern. And as much as we can be devoted to ourselves and our path and our life, these things are going to continue to show up until they don't. And so it's just being okay with that. And that's what's happening with the earth. The earth is in this beautiful, beautiful state of anchoring in these energies. Well, it's just inviting, it's just inviting us. It's just inviting us deeper in and deeper into our bodies and deeper into this moment and deeper into the connection, the deeper connections of ourselves, and also celebrating when we do have our moments of self-recognition, when we can step into that deeper place of self-recognition, and that we're really coming into life itself, right? We're embracing life, and that we don't see the parts of ourselves that are coming up as a problem or an issue. It's something we get to go, okay, this is a part of the path. This is just a part of the path. Yeah. Yes, Teresa, good. Giving myself permission to just be. Absolutely. 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 Thank you. Yeah. And Richard, you're saying I've had a lot of swirling feelings. Yes, that's a good way to put it, because it definitely is swirling. It is definitely like a swirling energy, this spiral of like, okay, where are we today? What's gonna show up today? What's happening today? What's happening in this moment? Yeah, fatigue, brain fog, emotional purging. Absolutely. Absolutely. The wakefulness last night. Yeah, because what's showing up? Are these decision points that we may find ourselves at, right? And when there's this massive collective that's waking up, and this massive collective of even just the earth itself and the cosmic bodies of the planets that are coming more into their own anchoring true essence geometry right now, there's these decision points that are rapidly changing the fabric of our reality, right? And as we're facing and being in these decision points of how we're going to be with ourselves in each moment, or how we're going to respond to a situation, or how we're going to open up or move with alignment, or maybe we made a decision out of fear or discomfort, or an old pattern, right? That's going to rapidly change the geometry. And then when we correct course or whatever it is, when we come into harmony with it again, it's just like we're just in this constant moving piece, when before there was more space of how reality was responding. Now it's just like boom. This is the decision you just made because of the thought you just had, or the emotion you just had, or the words you just spoke, or the choice you just made, right? And going, okay, whew, all right, along for the ride. I'm just going to keep riding it, and keep making the choices, and being okay with some in this moment. And this, what's been happening, as I wrote about too, is, there was a path that you were on and you were following it, and it felt aligned and it felt great and things were opening up. Then all of a sudden it was like, boom, boom, that's shifting. That's shifting. There's no door open for that right now in the awareness and the consciousness in the field, because all the other doors just are not open yet. And so there's a pause, right? Or people are making these decisions that are affecting your experience, that are like totally changing how you even need to move forward. And so it's this dance, like, oh, how do I get to shift right here, right now? Yeah, Adam, not used to the sudden shocks or changes. It's true. It's true. Our bodies, are definitely having to quickly adapt. And for those of us who have been working this field for quite some time, or just more intensely over the past year or two, sometimes it's still, shocking for our bodies, because it's really that current of energy that has to flow. It has to flow now. It can't not be, it has to be processed right here in the moment. And if we create a space where we're not processing it in the moment, and we're letting ourselves get engulfed in it, or we're not moving with it, it causes all of this, tension. It always has, but it's more apparent now. And we have to move, a little, like there's this slowing down as there's the quickening up. We have to be a little quicker on our feet, as we have to go into that deep inner space of stillness to allow that being quicker on our feet, right? And in the moment. So we can respond with more care and more diligence and more integrity and responsibility. And I can attest this. I made a decision the other day that came from a fearful place, out of that place of rejection of self. And it created this whole swirl of energies that opened up, that that had been in the field working for the past year. That I was just like, putting the wall up, And then after that, it just sent me into this really powerful process of communication and sense of going into those deeper places of the self, while I'm still in reality with people, and having these also amazing experiences out in the world, right? My dad was visiting. We were having just this incredible time together, and watching how the divine feminine and masculine in our reality is coming into there's this perfect union to support each other in these processes. So opening up into the grander, bigger picture of also who's in our environment, and how they're supportive or not supportive, and how we're showing up with that. So it's going into these deep internal processes. Maybe that's what we can just shorten it, derp. Deep internal processes, where there's where there's this, you know, we can be in that perfection of saying, wow, I honor myself for having made these decisions that are creating these experiences. And the outer world is reflecting this beautiful experience to me where everything just seems to be falling into place and this beautiful flow happening, so that we can recognize that those deep internal processes are all a part of the beautiful bigger picture, right? And we don't have to micromanage them so intensely or think that they're a problem, as I said earlier. So it's this is the dance we're in. Yeah. Yes, beautiful, Ray. Yeah, the importance of processing in the moment. That's why you were late, because you felt you needed to process something in the moment and appreciate that, you know, giving yourself the space to allow what needs to happen so you can be in your body and have that, giving yourself that permission to be, right? That there's nothing else that needs to happen right now except for what's happening right here in the moment of your feelings or your experiences, so that the next moment you can also be more present, right? And that's that perfect, clear, centered presence that we allow, that we allow. Yeah. Yes, absolutely, Adam. Zatorian, yeah. Not to be too upset by the suddenness of change. Yeah, it's interesting to be like a fixed sign, right? I have like most of my signs are fixed, but I am constantly in the flow of change, right? It's definitely been a learning process for me too, to go from this, you know, go to like, all right, we're gonna allow this. Yes, and practice definitely does make it easier, Adam. Thank you. Yeah. Yes, the body, Kylie. Yes, the body is definitely speaking up very loudly, because the body, as we're embodying the, you know, this light, our souls in the body has to be cared for, has to be recognized, is going to speak. The consciousness of matter is coming alive so quickly now that and the elements, as we were speaking of earlier, you know, it's just one consciousness, recognizing that it's not a thing anymore, that these, everything around us is a living experience. They're not things anymore that we're interacting with and we're the conscious one having all the experience. No, everything around us is having the experience with us, right? And it's having its own experience. And so sometimes we have to step out of ourselves and say, wow, how am I affecting reality right now? And how is everything in my space responding to that or experiencing it? Right? So it's just stepping into the trueness of life. Right? This complete interaction and unity of reality. Yeah, Lisa, a dance, a surrender of where I'm to be in physical space as of next month, and the mind wanting to know as it's approaching. Yeah, it can be powerful, right? When we're in these changes, when maybe we're moving or something's, you know, shifting and we don't know what that's going to look like or how it's going to feel or, you know, where we're going to be. And going, okay, I surrender into that. I surrender into that, so the fullness of it can show itself to me, and I'm ready to meet that opportunity when it arises. Right? And it's scary. It can be scary sometimes. It can be really scary to meet ourselves on these levels. Okay. So what I'd like to do is you know, bring us into a nice space of connection, you know, a nice space of connection to ourselves, our bodies, and tuning into the harmony that wants to play right now through us, that wants to sound itself through us, that wants to create our bodies, that wants to create our minds, that wants to create this path through us. In this interconnected space. And so we'll enter into the quantum love sanctuary and we'll nourish the body. will nourish the body, will nourish the mind, will nourish these places that are showing up for us that seem to be a challenge, and will allow the body to have a nice, nourished experience to come into a space that the nervous system can acclimate to, as this light is coming alive, as these patterns are changing through us, around us, in us. Yes, Ray, and how our melody flows into the harmony. Absolutely. Absolutely. What is a song that wants to be sung? What is your melody right now that's going to harmonize your reality? Yeah, Lisa, and the challenge of how last night was so intense. Yeah. So it's embracing the intensity. As much as we want to sometimes just say, oh, can we just have a break? Right? Just saying, okay. Because sometimes when we embrace the intensity, then everything just opens up and the intensity is still there, but there's the opportunity for what the intensity is to show itself. All the details of the intensity, so that we're not just holding this feeling of intensity, but we're not connecting to any of the pieces that are actually creating the intensity, right? So that's when we get to surrender and breathe into it and say, I'm here, I'm opening, I'm with you, show me, right? Show me. And yes, Lisa, the mind so wanted, you were worked with, and the mind so wanted to control it. Yeah, it does. It does. So let's do that. Let's go into the space where we can just relieve some of that, relieve some of that, of how the mind might want to control how our song is going to be sung in the moment. So yeah, Ray, thank you. I appreciate you too. Yeah, it's being able to speak from our deep experience, is what grows us, right? Even if we're by ourselves and we write it or reflect upon it, that inner wisdom continues to grow by being able to be present with ourselves in truth, right? Getting down to that nitty gritty truth of, because we're becoming, there's just all so much coming alive for us that's so new, right? That is the truth of us in our origin, but our consciousness is having to grasp this newness. And so the mind, of course, the brain and the neurotransmitters and everything that's not familiar with those flow patterns is just like, okay, survival mode. And then we just get to go, hey, let's drop in here. Let's allow the brain to have that moment, to find its grounding, its footing, and then welcome in the new patterns, welcome in the new flow, welcome in the possibility and the potential of what's there for us if we do, right? And even if we, make decisions that change the trajectory of our lives in a direction that we, weren't on a deeper level, weren't meaning to create, but we did through an old pattern, right? That we can also just be present with that and love ourselves through it and be compassionate and be in the responsibility and accountability to say, I'm learning again. I'm getting to know myself, and I'm getting to learn again. Thank you. Thank you for this humbling. Thank you for this surrender. Thank you for this opening, right? So let's go into the meditation. Yes, Kristen, I place both hands on heart and breathe. Yes. So let's do that. And I know I didn't do our opening unifying meditation like I usually do. There was just, the opening was here, and I was sitting with you all last night in ceremony to allow this space to open up so fully with us today as well. So let's just take a moment and close our eyes. And take a deep breath and place a hand on our heart, or two, or place a hand on our heart and anywhere else that we want to, be present with, and breathe. And just breathe here and allow. We're just going to bring a nice energy around each one of us that allows the grounding of our body, that allows the grounding of our experience, that allows the grounding of this process as we breathe into the body, as we settle the mind, asking for a nice white light to wash through the body, wash through from above the crown of the head, down through the body. Allowing for a stream of energy to flow through, to bring our presence here, to bring our relaxation here, to bring our calmness here, to bring our truth here. In serene surrender of self. Seeing the beautiful, loving energy that we call the quantum love sanctuary. Just embrace our space to bring in this unity of the essence of life, of love around each one of us, to hold us in our highest expression that we can access in this moment, to allow the pureness of ourselves to open, of our bodies to acclimate with all of these energies, so our mind can settle, so our heart can open, and all the information and energies that is flowing through us to come into a smooth, even flow of connection, letting all that is here to anchor in and integrate, and all that is here to gently dissolve and transform, and the alchemy of love to do so. To bring in let's just call in the frequency of harmony, call in the frequency of our souls and any and all of our guides and teams and beings that want to support this space in the highest expression. And as we call forth this energy, we also call forth from the earth the pure crystalline energies that we are supported by through this beautiful living being that we live with and live upon, to flow up through us, to meet us, to connect with us, to support this space through the crystalline light. Allowing our bodies to connect into this living life of all the elements that also want to present themselves for us here. To bring in the stability, the foundation of the physical body with our energy body. That we may further just allow the harmony of our soul to come in. The infinite energy of our being as all of us unite here in our purest, highest selves to continue the support and connection and guidance that we are here together for. allowing our bodies to settle, allowing our breath to settle, allowing all of our presence to deeply center into the body. So breathing into the body, breathing into this moment of the heart and breathing through the heart. Bringing a nice golden light of energy into the center of the heart to open and expand through the body. And as we allow this expansion through the body, allowing this light of the heart to just breathe through the rest of the body and noticing where it might want to go first. And allowing the pure heart, the higher heart, to embrace any parts of your body, any parts of your mind, any parts that are asking for this connection and breath right now. And opening to this breath, opening to this space. Being willing to see and feel and hear what's in these spaces of our bodies, of our minds, that wants our attention. Just opening here to this space. Letting the body receive, letting the mind receive. And allowing the breath of the heart to soften the mind so that we're present with the flow of energy. We're present with the flow of experience without the mind needing to grasp or think or figure it out. Just letting the energy continue to drop into the heart, drop into the body, tune into the heart, tune into the body. Letting the soul speak through the heart, through the body. Just feeling the rhythm of the energy, where it wants to flow, how it wants to flow. Yes, thank you. And allowing the body to do what it needs to do, if it needs to move, if it needs to be still, if it needs to adjust how you're sitting so the energy can flow in the way that it wants to flow. Welcoming in how the frequencies of your harmony want to tune the body, the geometry of the body, the flow and the function of the cells of the body. To welcome in these changes. Yes. Yes, thank you. And letting the body receive and letting the opening of what may need attention right now, this deeper connection of yourself that wants to show itself to you, and welcoming welcoming what wants to arise within your awareness, without judgment, coming into a space of neutrality, just to witness, to observe, with the opening and the willingness to know yourself even more, to allow who you're becoming to open up even more. And letting all that you have been come into the space of grace and compassion. That the tune is changing, the harmony is changing. The frequencies are changing. What part of you still may be questioning this opening? Any fear or resistance? Fear of the unknown? Fear of the changes? Fear of the possibilities? Or maybe there's just the open arms and just really embracing what's showing up here for you. And maybe there's both. Maybe there's both. Allowing the surrender of the energy into this space. We're sending golden light around the ends of the nerves to allow these energies to have the channels to flow through. As we bring this center of golden light through the center of the brain, the mind, and the spinal column, and all the nerves, so that our nervous system can calm and adapt here in this moment to all the new energies that are flowing through the earth, that are flowing through our bodies, that are being presented to us in our individual space as well as our collective space. Yeah, beautiful. Taking a moment here, and breathing this centered golden energy through the body. And letting it flow down into the center of earth. And letting it flow up from the center of earth. And just breathing this up and down through the body. Up and down through the body. As the body calms even more, as the mind calms even more. As the spaces within us open to allow, to allow, to allow. To allow the acceptance of what's here now in our individual lives, in our collective reality, so that we can embrace each moment as part of this incredible transition of who we are as individuals, as a collective, and who we're becoming. And again, any pressure within these spaces to gently relieve and flow down through the earth, to transform with the crystalline grid, and to breathe it back up in its purest form. Taking a moment here of gratitude for yourself, of gratitude for being here, of gratitude for all that is here, and gratitude for all that is present and wants to be present for you. That it's possible. That it's possible. And inviting the soul through the body, inviting this new rhythm, this new dance, this new harmony, this new song that wants to be sung into form through your body, through your space, through your experience. Just welcoming, just feeling, listening, tuning in. Welcoming all the support from your guides and the elements and the earth that are here to open up the cells of the body, all the energy channels, all the spaces. Mm. Yes. And allowing to be greeted by a part of yourself that wants to share with you right now from any timeline or any part of this life. Just welcoming in the part of you that wants to unify in love and gratitude. Maybe it's your inner child that's opening up into more freedom and surrender and opening, connection to self and care for self, compassion for self. Maybe it's a part of you from another space time that's wanting to unify in at this moment. Yes, I just see many soul fragments coming in. So just welcoming and inviting. In the inner parts of yourself to meet and greet and welcome. Welcoming in the purity, the geometry of yourself here, the frequency. And feeling into the innocence, feeling into the innocence and the purity that you are. Just being a spark of life, a spark of life that wants to move, that wants to flow from these deep inner still spaces. That wants to dance in this reality with you, of you, as you, for you. Opening into all the gifts and opportunities the universe gets to present for you. Beautiful. Beautiful. Just allowing this energy to ground in through the body, to ground in through your space. And feeling into the earth and feeling into this deep love, this deep connection. Sending it through the earth, all beings here on earth and beyond. Allowing all the energies of our bodies that are in connection to the universal, omniversal embodiment of pure consciousness and awareness. That we send this through the field of all that is, so that we strengthen the field of harmony. And embrace all that feels disharmonious into this love, into this grace that we ask for all to welcome the harmony that's necessary in this moment, that's aligned in this moment. Just breathing through the body here. And taking some moments and finding that centered space within the body where you're feeling this embrace of self, this harmony of your soul that gets to speak in all the different melodies that it wants to sing and dance with and to. And all comes in. In its divine perfection of union through each breath, through each movement, through each thought. Allowing this embodiment to embrace all that arises within you. Love, compassion, integrity, just taking some moments here to allow the integration and anchoring of this energy through the body, grounding it, just feeling what's present. And if there's any words to affirm to yourself, connect with yourself, further support the grounding, an embodiment, an expansion at the same time. Taking some moments of connection and stillness here with the self, with your body, allowing the body and the energy to breathe as one. Beautiful. We're going to ask for a nice energy to allow you to come into your bodies and take some moments to take care of your body in any way that you need to right now. If there's movement, or if you need a bio break, or you need to stay in stillness, whatever is going to be the most supportive of you, letting that flow through. And we'll take just a few more moments of stillness before we come into a space of sharing and guidance. Thank you. Yeah, 22 in here. Yes, Ing. Beautiful number. So I just welcome you to come into this space, to come into your body. And just want to open this space for people if you'd like to share what you experienced through that, or if there's a question you'd like to ask. We'll be here for about another 15 minutes to do so. And if
Okay.
fighting,
Hi. I will be bold today.
okay.
I had a great experience, so thank you all for co-creating this beautiful experience. And I felt this almost tangible ray of energy coming in. And then when I closed my eyes, it became all light. And at one point, I felt the little kid in me screaming like resistance, so much resistance. And that was the last part I feel of resistance that was still in my body, but I did not realize it was the little kid that was like doing like this. I don't want this, I don't want that, I want to leave me alone. And now it is. Wow. So thank you. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Oh, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you, little child, inner child, for showing up and allowing that space to open and be loved and acknowledged. So beautiful. Yes. You're so beautiful. I appreciate you. Celebrating yourself in union with your inner child. Wonderful. So gorgeous. Celebrating your boldness, Ing. Yes, well done, Ing. You're getting comments in the chat here. Wow. So gorgeous. I'm loving this. Yeah, it was really beautiful to watch the space and see what was moving in all of you, and noticing just the deep openings and connections and awarenesses. So yeah, Lisa, I too saw and heard my little me running free. Yes. This is the time to be bold. Yes. And the boldness doesn't mean like being bold out, having this necessarily being bold out in the outer world, right? Just even bold with ourselves, right? Bold with ourselves, to see ourselves, to witness ourselves, to see ourselves. So thank you. Yeah, would anyone else like to share? You can either raise your hand or unmute yourself. And you can raise your hand by going into participants or chat next to your name, saying raise hand. However you wish to do it. We're open here. Yeah. Let's see. I'm also just checking Facebook here to make sure Yes. You're welcome, Wendy. Yeah. Adam, please.
Hello, Christine.
Hello.
Yes, it's an amazing, very calming experience, allowing myself to connect with everything in me, and no matter what challenges I may be going through, just allowing myself to accept everything as it is at the moment, and just not feeling bad about it, just accepting everything that is at the moment, and knowing that everything is part of a very, very, very high cause. So yeah, that's wonderful. Thank you for that, Kristen. It's very encouraging. Thank you.
You're so welcome, Adam. Thank you. Feeling that calmness and steadiness in your voice and the energy that's streaming through you, and being able to be in that flow with yourself. Yeah. It is encouraging, huh? To feel it yourself, so that you know it's possible and it's there.
Yes.
And you can come into that space again.
Yes.
Thank you. Yes. And so it is. Thank you, Adam. Appreciate you.
Thank you. Hey, Chrissy.
Okay. Anybody else? You can also ask a question if you need to. Yeah, Bonnie. Hi, Bonnie.
Hi. So I was getting a lot of physical sort of tension releasing, especially on this. So it's obviously the meridian, because it always goes through my eye as well, and down the neck and through my ribs.
Yeah.
I was getting rid of something that was quite painful, so obviously it's a bit stuck before.
Yeah. Just feeling the holding, right?
Yeah.
The holding of certain elements of your reality, like going, oh, don't want those to move, don't want those to change, don't want that to happen.
Yeah, I'm sure I do a lot of that.
Yeah. So just beautiful to allow that to flow, and just remember what I'm seeing to do maybe is this, cross your hands over your body and cross your feet, and allowing that energy from the other side to flow to the other side, right? To welcome the full body flow, to go, let's let the nervous system and the body and the energy come into synergy with itself, right?
So you mean transferring the energy across?
Yeah. It helps to let the other side of our body that's stuck, that's flowing, to connect with the other side of our body that's not flowing. Right? And so if you have your left hand over your right, or whatever it is, however you have them, do the opposite with your feet.
Okay.
If left is over right on your arms, put right over left with your feet. Right? And this helps the nervous system and the body flow of energy come into harmony again too. So you can start to feel the pattern of the energy start to wind. Yeah, and then you can switch. Yeah. And just do that, intend for the sides of the bodies to receive the energy and for the energy to flow. And anything that's being held there to come into the opening of balance through you. Yeah, and anything that you're holding. Yeah, so it's a nice practice to do. And you can do it lying down. It's really nice to do it lying down so that the body can just fully relax into it at night before bed, or any time that you're feeling that. And also just noticing the tension of mother going on, right? Who you are as mother showing up in these times, and allowing that to maybe meditate on that or reflect on that, and bring any love or compassion or shifts and changes or adjustments that are needed there as well. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Bonnie.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Yeah, it's nice to have the physical things that we can do to support the physical as well, and the energy, right? So sometimes if we're having a difficult time connecting to the energy of it because our mind is going or whatever, we can use our bodies as our tuning forks, right? Would anybody else like to share? Come on. Ray, yes, please.
Hey. I wrote in the chat that I felt the balance that my little me brought as a little being. The artist who used to speak through imagery a lot, like she thinks in imagery, but there was also the poet who speaks through words. So she was sitting on my lap, just super content and it was rare for her to ever feel that content, like embellished love just wrapping around her. And so I could feel both the power of offering that for her, but also her feeling that safety, and something in there after I wrote that felt like the balance of the masculine feminine also. And so the interconnection of both the masculine feminine and the imagery and words somehow is coming more alive in me for now, and it feels so good. Because I think I've been shutting off one or the other, I don't know which, but it just somehow feels more open and more allowing more space for authentic creativity with love. So thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, I love that. You get to relish in the comfort of yourself, and letting that divine masculine feminine balance out. Yeah, it's interesting how, sometimes we go into a expression of ourselves and we kind of, really focus on that, and the other parts get the backstage, right? But then what happens when we can say, hey, what if we do this together? Right? Let's welcome our full expression in. So I really appreciate you coming into your full expression that way and feeling that it's possible and feeling that it's uniting within you, because that's powerful, right? Because it's like that dance of the imagery and the words at the same time. Right? It's like that you're now stepping into the bigger picture and letting that bigger picture have more of its expression. Ooh, just was feeling that. Yeah.
And so in that too, that's what harmony feels like right now, is allowing all of the different kinds of expression and the forms and shapes and textures, like allowing them all to coexist in a way that has its pure voice.
Yeah. The fabric, the fabric of a reality that gets to be, it's just like a quilt, right? We're stitching a quilt, and all the different patterns and, how we piece them together. And it's really beautiful to be able to let that next expression come out, go, oh, how does this fit here? How does that fit there? How does it want to feel? How does it want to look? And we get to, like, I love that word you use, texture, because it is. Because our bodies start to feel different. How we approach reality feels different, and the fabric of reality starts to feel different to us. Our perspective changes, and we get to embrace that new expression of ourselves in a more cohesive way. And we're saying, okay, I can express, I can let these mold together, because they are one. That is the harmony or the melodies, like the different, like there's one melody is the expression through words, the other's the imagery, right? And so how does that want to harmonize into one song, right? Yeah. And dance. So yes, thank you. Thank you. Appreciate you. Yeah. Yes, loving this, loving all this coming alive for each one of you in the way that it is. And yeah, I think we'll take one more, and then if anyone else wants to share, and then we'll shift, close. Oh, if anyone wants to, that's fine. If not. Okay, well, let's just take a moment here and have a moment of inner celebration and connection to ourselves of what showed up here today. What opened for us today? What's coming alive for us? What's dancing through us? Having the gratitude and the celebration for that experience, so that we can fully come into its expression and let it integrate and anchor, and let all the textures and colors and images and sounds and feelings have its flow into the world through our minds, through our bodies, through our hearts, through our skin, through our thoughts, through our emotions, through our being, through our stillness. And all the union, the unity of ourselves coming in all the ways that it is. And celebrating the body to be able to experience this. And celebrating each one of us that are here, opening more into these spaces and allowing these experiences so that we all have this participation in this time. We get to witness each other and the gratitude for that. That we know it's possible, and us coming together keeps encouraging and strengthening all that is. So thank you for being here, just grounding into the body and asking for any and all energies to complete that are going to complete in this moment, and any and all guides and beings that showed up here for you that may want to be with you for the rest of the day to continue support, or ready to be released, any and all elements coming into our individual bodies and spaces and energy bodies, asking for our energy body and to come to a frequency that will support us through the rest of the day, to be present, connected to ourselves in this love. Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate and love each one of you. Yes. So maybe you all walk through your day with this love and unity and connection and self-reflection and opening to what's coming through for you. And if you'd like to give for our time together today, you can. No obligation, though. I'm happy to be here with you. And I also want to let you know that we will be also opening up a space for the lunar eclipse happening either Sunday or Monday to support the integration of what's coming through for that. So I love you all. We'll be together soon, and be well. I'll be sending out the replay, so you'll have this again. Much love.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. So much love.
Bye-bye.